G'day fellas! Bit of a map update. This basically shows where we've been so far in Victoria. So across the border at Mount Gambier. We didn't go to Portland. We went to, where's that place, Mel?
Warrnambool.
Yeah, not Warrnambool. And then we went to beautiful, oh, we had the hot pool, thermal things there, which was extraordinary. Port Campbell, the lighthouse, Cape Otway was awesome. We stayed up at Stevenson's Falls, up from Apollo Bay. Apollo Bay was pretty, Lawn was beautiful. Went to Torquay or Bells Beach, up through Ballarat, stayed up just out of Dalesford, and then we've got into the high country. So then we kind of went over here and flipped the page through Yea, and then all this area here is the Victorian high country. So we did what's that? Buxton, Marysville, Eildon, then we went to Buller, stayed at Mansfield. Love that area, really love Mansfield. Then we went to Beechworth. Didn't ride the Beechworth mountain bike trails, but did a bit of the Indigo Epic. Didn't do the Yakandana side, so Yak is what we've missed. Then we've come down through to Bright, stayed there, rode Mystic, absolutely loved it. Then we went to Mount Beauty, spent about 4 days there. Beautiful place, rode the local trails there, went up to Falls Creek, rode the trails up there. And then we went back down into Bright, and then up this way to Dinner Plain, rode there a couple of nights ago, 2 days ago. And then yesterday we drove from Dinner Plain down through Omeo, all the way around here, filled up Water and Barnsdale, and then up to Dargo, which is where we are now. So yeah, that was a big drive yesterday. So now, Dargo, we're going to go up and ride around here. So if we now move to the zoomy in map, here we are, Dargo here. Right up the top here is Mount Hotham Village, and Dinner Plain, where we stayed night before last and rode. So we're going to drive up the Dargo High Plains Road. This would have been the quickest way to get there, to get here, but they closed that in the winter, and it literally closed the day before we were going to come down. But we weren't going to do it in the caravan anyway, because there's a sign up there that says no caravan, so we weren't going to do it. But we were going to drive down here and do Blue Rag because it's closer, but it closed. So now we're going to go all the way up Dargo High Plains Road. I think that's going to take an hour or so, and then the mighty Blue Rag Range track. Now this is a fairly famous four-wheel drive track in the four-wheel driving community. It's one of Australia's most iconic tracks, I'd say, and we're going to do that today. So we'll see you when we hit the track.
us to help a
Yep.
fellow wheeler.
Help old mate put a bit of air back in his bike, and off he goes. He said he's working for a couple of months renovating a pub at Harriettville, so on his days off he's doing this stuff.
Look at him go.
Living the
Sending
dream.
it. Top of Blue Rag, and I can smell something yummy. What's cooking, Keefus?
Well,
what you got?
First off, a Wolf of the Willows Pup Hazy Pale Ale to celebrate the return to Blue Rag.
Beautiful day, guys.
Now, what have we in here? I think it's the same as what we had in here yesterday.
Ooh. Oh look, it survived that drive up. Oh, also, guess who drove? Me! What did I sound like on the way up? I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. That's fizzing at the bung, that is.
Alright, we're going to go and enjoy this at the top. There's the Trig, there's the view, there's the Keefus, here's the Mousey. Ciao! Good luck. Yikes. Can't even walk this, guys. With the car. Wait. Try and get him coming down without me being in the road.
Steel frame around this.
When I got round that,
I'm not real. Time series.
once I get past that box,
No way! Come on! That was unreal.